Hey everyone, welcome to Quickscope Podcast, brought to you by Higher Passion Entertainment. We're your hosts, Eric and Serge, and we're here to talk about our passion, video games. Serge, it's good to have you, man. It's been a minute. How you been doing?
Yeah, good, man. Just starting a new job, so just getting accustomed to that. But yeah,
Yeah,
been good. Looking forward to play some games here in the winter when I have a couple of days off.
yeah. We've been talking about it for a while, but we'll probably start getting into a regular schedule with these. But as of now, I mean, we're just posting when we can, and I think it's pretty good. I think we're still having fun with this, so
Yeah,
we're gonna keep going. But yeah, it's good to have you back, man. It's been a minute.
thanks. It's good to be back.
Um, so yeah, I want to start off with some news, and this one's actually kind of sad. So I don't know how to say it. So Alarm, who's a gamer, he's a pro Overwatch League gamer, has passed away at the age of 20. It's really sad to hear. It really hit me personally, just because I'm a Philadelphia Fusion fan. I watched the Overwatch League. I remember seeing him in 2020, him being Rookie of the Year, and even he was up for MVP. He was nominated, so it was really sad to hear this news. So I just wanted to say, I mean, we're keeping him in our prayers. Him, his family, his friends, all his teammates have nothing but good things to say about him. So definitely, we're keeping alarm. And I don't want to say his actual name because I don't want to butcher it. But first name Kim. Just want to keep Kim in our prayers and all his family and friends. Definitely a big loss for gaming, and yeah.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Alarm, man. That sucks, especially when you finally make it. These people have probably been trying to make it, for a long time to gaming, and they're there, and then just for your life to be over like that. That's
Yeah,
it's
it's
sad.
crazy. But yeah, so
Yeah.
just uh, keep them in your prayers. Send them good thoughts, good wishes, and yeah. So moving on, I wanted to talk about some other recent news, and of course we have the main topic later. We're gonna talk about NFTs and blockchain and all that in video games, but want to talk about some recent news, some recent new games first. So one of the biggest things right now, and it's actually today, is the 10-year anniversary of Skyrim. That is
Yeah.
nuts. 10 years. And I still haven't beat the game.
Yeah, I mean that. I guess that's why people are still playing it,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's been
yeah,
so many countless mods for Skyrim too, right? And I think
yeah,
one of the funniest things to see is people talk about Skyrim and how much they love the game, but it's been 10 years and we haven't actually gotten a new installment in the Elder Scrolls series. Right? We have
yeah,
Elder Scrolls Online, which is fun in and of itself, but it's just kind of a reminder that we haven't really gotten a new game since Skyrim, right? So
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the power of having the ability to have your community create mods. They're basically creating your game for you.
yeah,
They're creating your player base for you. It gives creativity to a lot of people that wouldn't have that creativity if you didn't open that game up like that. Um, you know, GTA, Minecraft, Skyrim. These are all very moddable games that a lot of people play and are constantly playing. So they won't die. They'll just continue getting uh, mods, and the community is just gonna keep playing these new
yeah,
mods, and it's never gonna go away.
yeah. I,
Yeah,
I think one of the biggest things about Skyrim is the mods, right? Like,
yeah,
so with the 10-year anniversary, there is a 10-year anniversary edition that's coming out, a new game that has included a lot of these mods that they've had over the years. And the real cool thing about Skyrim is this isn't just mods that you have to like be on a PC, and they're not like sanctioned mods by the developers. They've have actually like helped build a community around modding Skyrim, the developers
yeah,
themselves and the publishing company. So they've actually created almost this whole like culture and environment where it allows for creativity,
yeah,
and they have like official mods that were then monetized, and people could actually purchase them and have them in
mhm,
game, and they're developed, and there's people in the back that are keeping them up to date and everything. So and with
yeah,
the anniversary edition, you're actually getting some of those mods in game already.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really cool to see. Just I mean, my experience with Skyrim was actually really funny because I initially started playing the game, and I just remember everyone talking up the open world aspect of it and saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want in this game." So me just being like, I'm gonna just do whatever I want. I get in this game and I completely go off the very first quest, and I just completely started doing my own thing. I hit this other quest where you end up like getting drunk and end up like on the other side of the map, and you see my map, it's like all dark and I'm just like in this light spot on the other end, and it took me forever. I think I put in like 10 to 20 hours of gameplay before I finally got to the beginning and actually played through the quest. and
Yeah.
and it just, I mean, that goes to show you how big that game was, how open world it really was. And I don't know if this game, you can't even really beat it 100%. There's no like end credits scroll or anything after you finish the main portion of the game, like
Yeah.
it. And with so many mods that have come for it, it just like it's almost like a living thing. It just keeps growing and changing, and it's
Yeah.
not a game that you just play and you beat. It's a game that you just keep coming back to for new content or just to try out different things.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, never-ending content. There might be a lull in the gameplay here and there, but that's to be expected with a game that's been running for so long.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, these are the biggest games played. I would put on monthly or weekly for sure. It's gonna be like Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
and Skyrim. Those are all the three really have the same system, and they're still going after what 10+ years each.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and they'll keep going.
that yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they won't be going anywhere
Yeah,
soon.
so definitely if you have not checked out Skyrim, and I don't know if you've been living under a rock if you haven't checked it out by now, but definitely check out this 10-year anniversary edition. I've looked at some of the comparisons between like the trailer and the original gameplay, and it looks really cool. It's definitely updated graphics, updated gameplay, so you should really try checking that out.
Yeah, it's good that they don't try to change the game too much, but just change it enough to where it's a little bit pleasing to the eye. As our
Yeah,
eyes, continue to see better and better graphics.
yeah. Um, so yeah, check that out if you have never played Skyrim before. Next up, I want to talk about. I don't want to take too much time on this one, but Jump Force is a game that I kind of talked up initially before it came out.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be really good. I mean, the whole idea behind it sounds awesome. It's like having all these different anime characters in a fighting game,
Yeah.
especially with how well Dragon Ball Z games have done in recent years.
Hmm.
I thought this was going to be almost like the next big fighting game in tournaments. And you have this idea of like Smash Brothers where you have characters from different uh just different developers and in different areas, and you're putting them all together in one game, and then you have it mixed with like again this Dragon Ball type of game where you're, or fighting
Hmm.
game where you have all these characters playing out, and it was really made for fans, but in the end I think it just fell short. I mean, it hasn't been out for too long, but it's officially, Jump Force is going to be removed from stores now. It's removed from stores. They're
Yeah.
not going to keep developing it or updating it at all. It's just going to be a dead game now. Essentially, they're completely pulling out, and you can't purchase the game anymore. So, I mean, it's kind of sad to see, but I think it's good to see developers and publishers not try to keep like,
Keep it alive and
yeah,
going forever when it really was. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, on the one hand, you have games like what was it, No Man's Sky, right? It
Yeah.
was dead upon release. It did really bad, but now it's gotten to a point where they've actually revived it to a
Hmm.
really good point where people now start playing the game and they're actually liking it. But I think with a fighting game is completely different. I don't think you can dig your way out of that one.
And the community is just so different. I mean, No
Yeah,
Man's Sky, the community of that open world type game is just everyone's trying new games. In fighting games, it's like they try to bring out new fighting games, but they just don't work. It's almost like they perfected it already, and everyone's trying to get to that level. And everyone's like, "Well, this game is just already so perfect." AKA, Super
yeah,
Smash, Street Fighter, all that, Marvel vs. Capcom. Those have already been perfected, so it's kind of hard to find that. that game that's gonna still give you that same fighting drive. So that's why you see these big tournaments on still these old games. I forget what's the big tournament that they have.
Evo tournament.
Yeah, Evo tournament. Yeah, that's it's just like it's already been perfected. It's kind of hard
Yeah.
to find a game, especially with this. It's such a good idea, right? All the anime characters, anime's big. It's growing, and it's a good idea, but I mean, it's gonna have to take some really good work and a good team to make a game that's gonna live up to the
Yeah.
hype of what the fighting community is very hardcore in the game, so they stick to their guns, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think they're gonna do a lot with it as of now. So
Yeah, it's good to get, like you said, it's good to get out and just understand that you guys are done. Go on to a new game, and maybe the next game they create is that game.
yeah,
So you don't know until you try. So
that's true. That's true. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Pretty much it for Jump Force, I guess.
yeah,
um, and one thing I want to talk about is uh a show actually. So it's not a video game, but it's relating to League of Legends. It's the new Arcane show. So they're coming out with, I think they came out with 3 episodes initially on release, and then they're coming out with more and more episodes every week. So I kind of like that format now. I think Disney Plus, kind of with like Loki and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, they kind of got us back into the rhythm of having a show released
hmm
weekly instead of like all at once. But
yeah,
as a fan of League of Legends, and you know me, I play a lot of Teamfight Tactics.
yeah,
I really liked this series, and just to be completely honest, I've only watched the first episode. I really liked it. I'm hooked. But not only that, I think that this is really good for people that don't know League of Legends. So if you're not a League of Legends player, you can definitely go and watch it, and you don't need any background on the characters. It's more like you, if you are a fan, they have like little Easter eggs for you, and like you see
yeah,
Vi or Jinx, and you're like, oh, that's so cool that she's in this series. But at the same time, if you're completely new to the world of League of Legends, you can definitely go and watch this and almost like start catching up. Maybe it'll pique interest in some people to go and play League of Legends or play Teamfight Tactics.
exactly.
I think it's a great show, and so far, and I've heard nothing but good things about it in reviews and such. So
Okay.
yeah, what do you think about it? Have you checked it
I
out
mean,
yet?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but I'm excited to watch it. I think Riot as a whole is good at storytelling. This is kind of what people have been asking for, right? They've been asking them to get into
Yeah.
this kind of, into movies, into shows. They're Riot's just going all over the place. They at first were just a pony, and now they're just everywhere. I mean, I believe we're going to talk about later the Netflix. They have a Netflix games, I
Mm-hmm.
believe, as well. So they're just expanding everywhere, as they should. They have a good team. They storytell well, and I mean, I've heard it's great, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be great. They don't really make anything that's great. It's almost like I believe Rolex. Whenever they don't make a perfect watch, they throw it
Yeah.
away and they scrap it. It's kind of like right, they don't put things out that are not perfect. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I mean,
it's
you
gonna be
see,
good.
you saw the same thing with Valorant. I mean, Valorant's
Yeah.
release
No. Yeah.
was
Exactly.
done very
Yeah.
well. They
Yeah.
put out a like high quality game, still one of the best
High
shooters out
quality.
there. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, they Riot does everything high quality, and the games that they release are few and far between, right? With
Yeah.
games, it
Yeah. They take their time on
yeah,
them,
they
which
take their
is
time on
what they
them.
should.
Yeah, I think it's cool with Teamfight Tactics is that they take their time with TFT and really developing the new sets. So right now we're in a brand new set
Mhm.
now, and literally they brought in all new characters, new game
Yeah.
mechanics. Like it's almost like you're playing a completely different auto battler now, but
Yeah.
it all looks so polished. They actually do a really good job at testing, and I mean they have a full test server for almost like a month that you can
Yeah.
play in, and they'll test different things, and you give your feedback, and they look at the feedback from streamers as well,
hmm
and from all that they really develop really good games. So even with games that they currently have out, if they're making changes to it, making development changes, they're working really well, like a true like software company. Like they understand this
Yeah.
software development life cycle and what that means, and how to test new features and bring them back and change them just
Yeah.
enough to make it that much better for the player base. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Riot knows what they're doing, and I'm sure with the show, they had the correct people in there. They had their storyboard writers from the video games in there creating all the content, and yeah, I think it's really good. It kind of goes back to what I was saying before when I was on the podcast with Nick. We were talking about was that game Injustice? How they had
Mhm.
the people that created the game be part of the movie that they made, the
Yeah.
animated movie. So it makes perfect sense that for Arcane, they didn't just hire another publishing company to do it or another development company.
Yeah.
They have their storytellers, the people that created these characters, part of the development team for the show, and that's why the show's so good. That's why it's paying a lot of service to the fans, to me as a fan of League of Legends and TFT, but it's also going to attract many others. Like that, I think that's the whole point of it. Honestly, the whole point of
Mhm.
Arcane, the show, is to get people more interested in League of Legends, more interested in Riot games, and come and try out some of their games just because, hey, look, it's actually really cool, and I'm enjoying what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And I think they understand that.
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy that they're already the biggest game out there. League is top 5, top 10 every
consistently. Yep.
every year, consistently, and they're still trying to grow. So they know that they have a quality game on their hands. They know that they have a quality company on their
Yep.
hands, and they're just doing things right, which is you know they're probably one of the greatest gaming companies I think ever. I mean, they have to
They
be
have to
up
be
there
up
with
there.
maybe Blizzard, I guess, and
Activision.
it's well, Blizzard has had
they're
some
the
issues.
same.
Activision,
Yeah,
yeah, Activision,
but
yeah.
yeah,
So
they're up
it's
there.
just
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
kind of in the same vein, I did. You mentioned it earlier. I want to talk about Netflix. So, we had
Yeah.
announced. I think we have a video on our YouTube channel too about Netflix gaming, and Netflix had said they were going to start launching games that you can play within their apps.
Hmm.
Um, and these games have actually launched. I know there hasn't been a lot of marketing or advertising around it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I myself tried finding it and trying to download it right, and it's confusing to me. I don't know where I have to go, so they need to put some kind of tutorial out there because it almost feels kind of like where is it on my Netflix app?
Yeah.
Where is it on? Like I don't know.
I
It's
mean,
confusing.
and even more confusing me with an iPhone. With the
Yeah.
iPhones, I think you had to like download some other app, and it just like redirects you somewhere else so you can actually download the games. The only game I really tried out was the Stranger Things one, and it's
Mhm.
okay. It's a
Yeah.
little, it's like a pixelated RPG type of game, pays homage to the show really well. But other than that, I
Yeah.
wasn't impressed. So what we're getting essentially is like mobile games because you can't play it on your TV with like a remote, and there's no
Yeah.
like controller that you can purchase to play these games.
Hmm.
They're within the app, and you have to use a tablet or your phone to play it. So
Yeah.
essentially, what they gave us was mobile games, and
Yeah.
so far, I don't. They haven't really hit. Again, there was no big marketing around it, so. And I'm not saying it was a bad game. I think it's actually really interesting. It's pretty cool to see a game in the Stranger Things universe. I haven't played any of the other games that were launched.
Hmm.
I think there was 3 total games that were launched. But
Yeah.
other than that one, I haven't really touched the others, and just because I'm not interested. I wasn't really peaked. I know from the initial announcement from Netflix, it was just like an article I had stumbled upon while I was doing research for the show, and but even then, like Netflix didn't send out an email. There's no commercials about it and nothing like that. So
Hmm.
I don't know how serious they are about doing this, or if it's just kind of more of a like the marketing team that's creating these games or hiring
Yeah.
people to come and create these games.
I mean, I think personally that they're going at it slow. It's kind of like when they first started, their own TV series. They didn't go, I'm gonna drop 100 TV series and see
That's
which one
true.
hits.
That's
They
true.
they like to go in slow and steady, and one hits, and then the next hits, and then you keep going and build off of that. So, um, maybe they'll use it as a way to promote their shows. When if say a
Yeah.
new show comes out and it's big, they bring out a game for it. I'm pretty sure they don't take that long to make these games if they're not, they probably have a big team that's already working on this.
Yeah.
Or they maybe start working on a game as the show comes out, and there's different ways they can do it, I guess. But there's a lot of growth, and Netflix is that type of company that just grows little by little by little. They're always just bringing out new stuff. So
Yeah.
as long as they understand which games, I guess, to focus on. I personally want, Stranger Things is cool, but say if they brought out I think they brought out some League games, right, to go with our Arcane, and they brought out some other
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
it's just easy for other companies to promote their games as well as their shows on there. So I think they're gonna work it out at some point. Maybe at some point there's a huge game on there, and the mobile market is open.
Yeah.
No, I mean, what is on mobile? I mean, you can play Pokemon.
Oh yeah, the new Unite game.
The new one, you could play, I guess, League, Rift, but there's not really much on there. And there's a few Call of Duties and stuff like that you can play. But
yeah,
there's an open market on the mobile.
Yeah.
Mobile, yeah.
So yeah, we'll see where it goes from now. I mean, if you want to try it out, if you have Netflix, you have a Netflix account, it's free. So definitely try it out yourself and see what you think about it. Maybe some of you guys in the comments will actually like the game and let me know what you like about it. So yeah. Up next, want to talk about a new game. Well, not necessarily a new game. It's another new addition to an old game. So GTA, Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy series. So what we're getting in this series is Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas, and Vice City. Yeah, and Grand GTA 3 is based in Liberty City, right? I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. They all have different city names and stuff. But yeah, we're getting the trilogy for GTA package, and I mean, there's some controversy around this already, which is really funny. I think it's supposed to launch soon in today, November 11th. Today, yeah. So yeah, GTA the trilogy launches today. I still remember playing those games. I didn't play GTA 3, but I definitely played San Andreas and Vice City. I really like those games. I mean, the whole idea, like the main story idea of like starting out in the criminal underworld and working your way up, and each city is mimicking like real life cities. I thought it was really cool, and I remember playing it probably when I wasn't supposed to, but I mean, they're all rated M.
For sure.
But I think having the trilogy is definitely going to be nostalgic for a lot of people. They're probably going to get it just for nostalgia's sake and play through the stories again. And the updated graphics look really good too. I mean, they're using the GTA 5 graphics now for the original game, so that looks really cool. I'm really excited about that. But some of before I get into any of the controversy around it, what do you think about the GTA trilogy? Is this something you'll get?
I don't put it be GTA, man. The other old games, every chance they get.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make money on anything possible. So they're Skyrim with multiple games, essentially. They just keep updating multiple. I mean, they're all good. So I mean, so people are probably gonna buy it. I mean, if people don't have it themselves already, but they're doing everything possible to not give us GTA 6.
I know, right?
Like, GTA 6? Nah, you have a trilogy of this and that.
I know, dude. Everyone, when it was announced, there was a leak, and I actually posted it on our social media. They're like, oh yeah, Rocksteady's gonna come out with something. There was a leak, like there was a server that was set up called GTA Project, and everyone was getting all hyped, and I got hyped. I'm like, all right, GTA 6, this is dope. Turns out it was just GTA Trilogy, and I mean, right off the bat, there was mixed feelings about it because people thought this was gonna be the announcement for GTA 6, but Rocksteady instead just gave us their old games repackaged.
Rocksteady's just they're rickrolling everybody. Just like, here, have this little snippet, and then you just hear the rickroll come out as soon as they bring out their freaking trilogy, man.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
So some interesting dilemmas around this game right now. GTA the Trilogy will be available on Switch. I don't know why so many people were upset about that. I was like,
I mean,
whatever. Like, I own a Switch. Like, I'm
yeah, but like, you're marketing to the wrong group of people because I think yeah, we have Switches, but like the majority of people who have Switches, I guess, are kids. But
yeah,
obviously there's still a lot of adults, but I think adults have it on Xbox or PS or
yeah.
something else. Are you gonna really go play it on a Switch? Like, it just doesn't make any
I
sense.
don't know. So, what I was gonna say is, there's no other portable option to play this game. So, I mean,
I
if
guess
if
that's
I get it
true.
on a Switch and I get the actual, like,
Yeah,
the hard copy of the game and not just download it,
yeah,
I mean, I can
yeah,
be on, like, if I have to travel for work, I can just take it with me and be playing.
yeah, yeah.
At the same time, do people out in public really want to see you playing GTA with how, like, violent it is, how much cussing it has, and all that? Like,
Yeah.
how okay is it to be playing on your Switch in public? So there's
You can
that
be
aspect.
stealing a car. You can be stealing a car in the freaking subway or
Yeah,
like the fucking. Yeah, it's just.
I think it's one thing to be playing like Fortnite on your Switch, or even like Call of Duty, like gun games,
Yeah,
and but when you're playing something like this, is a tad more violent, a tad more uh even sexual in nature. Some of the
mm-hmm.
cutscenes, I think it
Yeah,
people might get like offended and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's fine that they're having it on Switch. I think there's gonna be a group of
yeah.
people that are going to want it. Um,
They don't lose anything, right? They don't really lose anything
yeah,
for trying. They could just try. Hey, you never
yeah.
know. They,
I'm actually,
maybe a lot of people want to buy it on there, and
I
it's all digital. I'm pretty sure, right?
yeah,
So.
I'd be curious to see how it actually works. Like, does Nintendo have to reach out to Rocksteady and pay them in order to get the game ported to them?
Oh yeah, that's
Or
true.
did Rocksteady have to do this and be like, hey, we want to publish this game to Nintendo. What do we have to accomplish to do that? Like, because I've seen versions of games. I remember, what was it? Was it Soul Calibur? I forgot what game it was back in the day when we had the Xbox 360, GameCube, and the PS2 or 3. They There was a specific game that on the GameCube they removed like the blood or something. So they made it less gruesome because it was on GameCube. And
Hmm.
I've always wondered, like, if they could do that with some of these games for like the Nintendo Switch, just because, like you said,
Well,
the
probably
Switch
maybe
is marketed towards kids, and maybe,
families, just in general families.
yeah, and
Yeah.
families, yeah. So I think it'd be really interesting if GTA even gives you like an option to, like, I don't know, like, bleep out words. I remember the Conquer games. You had an
Yeah.
option to just have it bleep out words instead of hearing them like talk and say certain things. I thought that was really interesting too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'll see what happens with GTA coming to the Switch. Another issue with GTA, one that a lot of people are actually mad about, is that, hey, you're not actually getting the full version of the game because you don't have all the songs in the game in the radio stations.
Mm.
So,
And that's all. That's sometimes always the best.
right,
It's
a
like
lot of
they
people,
sometimes they say GTA radio is better than regular radio,
yeah,
right? So.
yeah. So there's a list online of, like, I forgot how many. It was like 40 or 50 songs that they had to remove from the game, and
That
you have
sucks.
like Ozzy Osbourne on there, Tom Petty, Michael Jackson removed. I saw
Yeah.
NWA, Tupac were removed. Like, all these different songs that really affect like the mood of how you decide to play
Yeah.
this game. And I thought that was crazy. That's crazy how the copyright issues of today are like so prominent compared to how they were like several years ago. Like, they had access to play all of these songs in their game, and now they had to go through and select one by one which ones they could play and which ones they couldn't. I think it has to do with like DMCA issues as well, but
Yeah.
even then, I've always wondered if it's like maybe some of those games that people were like playing it online or like streaming, if they'd get flagged just because the in-game content was playing songs that the streamer themselves did not have access to.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's another issue with it. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but for a lot of people, that's the like make or break for them. to like I've seen a lot of comments online and people like, I'm not gonna get the game now, just because of
Yeah.
the
No, no,
music.
yeah, I mean, it depends if that's you're already used to some type of environment while playing the game. Then yeah, you're not gonna want to take less, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that just especially when you're on the road, maybe you're sitting in the car or the airplane playing, and that music is what's kind of keeping you in the mode, right? Or like still like playing the whole time,
yeah,
so it could really affect the gameplay.
yeah. Okay, definitely. So yeah, other than that, I think it's still worth checking out. Especially
Yeah, if you don't have it, I
yeah,
mean,
especially if
it's a
you
great buy.
for I guess for like the younger guys that may have only played GTA like 4 and 5.
Yeah, yeah,
These
that's
three
true.
games really uh changes the direction that GTA was
Mhm.
going and really made what we know now as GTA 5. Like a lot of influence came
Yeah,
from these three games. So yeah, getting the trilogy edition will actually be pretty cool if you want to check it out.
yeah.
And one more new game that I wanted to talk about that people are just raving about, man. Like a lot of people really like this game. It's Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
I saw who was it? IGN gave it a perfect 10. Perfect 10. I was like,
I
man,
know.
that's crazy. I don't have the game. I don't have the game yet.
Yeah.
Is it on Game Pass? Do you have it?
I haven't seen. I'm gonna check that
Okay.
after this. But I am actually thinking of buying
Yeah.
it, and I don't think about buying a lot of games, but I'm looking for a solo game right
Oh,
now that I could just chill on, and I'm 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 looking for it. I mean, I talked about it when we were talking about the trailer,
yeah.
man. It looks so nice. That trailer really kind of sold me,
Yeah.
and now that I hear it's great, I'm excited. I think I'm gonna
Yeah,
buy
dude,
it.
not only the graphics. So yeah,
Even
so
if
in the trailer we saw how good the graphics were for this game. But on top of that, uh the just the open world aspect of it
Mhm.
is being raged about. Love it. And so for those that
Yeah,
don't know, the new setting is Mexico, right? And they make Mexico look so beautiful and both the like greenery, and then you can go to the beaches, and then you have the main cities, and they're doing it really well, and it's almost reminiscent of Forza Horizon 3. Was that the one in Australia or 2? Yeah,
I think it was
yeah,
three.
one of the ones that was in Australia. It kind of has that feel to it, but you still get like the city vibes, and
Yeah,
the whole open world aspect of it is really cool. I mean, Horizon's always done that, right? The open world aspect of
yeah,
car racing. So I just wanted to say like they're doing it right. They even added their own like battle royale version or mode to the game as well,
yeah,
where like you can like crash. And yeah, I mean like you said, if you're looking for a game to play solo to just chill to, and if you're even like somewhat into cars, I think at this point maybe this is the game for you, because I had said before that Forza Horizon games, even Forza games in general, I feel like they're just for people that really like cars. But
hmm,
after seeing some streams online of the new game and seeing people like really get into it and start playing, I I kind of changed. I want to take that back, because I think if you're even like somewhat interested in cars, it's gonna be really fun. I think as a racing game, it's really good. Obviously, graphics are great, but there's just so much to do in this game, like down to detailing your car, to like updating your garages, to just driving around looking for races, finding other people to race against and go into matches. Like there's this whole aspect to it that makes it feel like so much bigger than any other racing game.
yeah,
So I yeah,
yeah. No, I like I said, I love everything I see.
yeah.
Waiting for one to be this good. I mean, they've all been pretty good, but if the hype, it is on Game Pass, by the way.
Oh,
So
there you go.
if the hype is good, and it's on Game Pass, so it's free for everybody who has Game Pass, and I'm pretty sure people are going to download and try it.
Yep.
As long as everyone has space on their Xbox, because
It's
every
big.
game seems to be 500 gigabytes each. But um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna download it right after this because I definitely want to play it for sure.
Yeah, man. Definitely. If you got Game Pass, this is the game that you got to get as far as car racing goes. And yeah, I think who is it? The guy in charge of Xbox now?
Is it Mike? What's his name?
I forgot his name.
What's that guy? He's the one that used to be or is it the same guy?
I don't know. Was it Phil
Uh,
Spencer?
Phil
Phil
Spencer.
Spencer?
Phil
Yeah.
Spencer, the guy who used to be
Yeah.
the
So he basically came out and said this is the best launch for Xbox that they've ever had.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like Forza Horizon 5 is as of now the best launch Xbox has had. And it's killing it. Not just like people that are actually buying the game and playing it or just playing it on Game Pass apparently.
mm-hmm.
It's all the critics, man. It like all the reviewers, easy nines and tens across the board. And
Yeah,
because it's so much more than a racing game, again, like going back to open world aspect of it, and
yeah,
so much to do in the game. Like you're gonna spend hours and hours in this game just chilling and having fun with racing
yeah.
and stuff. And but if you want to take it one step further and be competitive with it, you can. And you can go that route too.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want a game that you want to like grind at, that you can do that here too. So yeah, man, definitely Forza Horizon 5, man. What a launch.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, check that one out. Um, so that wraps up our news portion of the podcast. So right now we want to get into the meat, the main topic
Yeah,
here. And it's actually kind of a hot topic with a lot of people right now, is NFTs. Uh, I know
yeah,
I saw you put here, are NFTs a scam?
yeah. I mean, I mean, that's what really a lot of people are. It's kind of like it's not like the whole gambling thing, but I mean, if you know an NFT is gonna fail and you're pricing it at $50 and you're telling these people that buy this NFT and they're trying to you're marketing it in a way where you think they're they're getting a one of a kind item that's going to be worth a lot of money at some point or this and that. A lot of people are saying that it's almost like buying people's merch, but if you're doing it in an
Yeah,
unethical way, it's pretty
man.
scammy. Like this whole um,
I don't. Yeah,
promoting of your the whole thing with cryptocurrencies. All these people promoting cryptocurrency. They're trying to get into this too
they don't
fast.
know what they're
Everyone's trying
doing.
to make a quick buck.
Yeah,
They don't know what they're doing. They're just taking these deals, and what if these people are scamming them?
yeah.
There's too much unethicalness to be had
I
there.
think I agree. I'm not agreeing to that NFTs are a scam. I'm
Yeah,
agreeing though some NFTs are a scam, and you're gonna get
yeah,
and I guess some of our viewers might not even know what NFTs are, right? So NFT,
yeah,
non-fungible tokens, they're backed by blockchain. So these are digital items that cannot be copied, or there can be a set amount. What I like to compare it to is usually sneakers, right? So if Nike comes out with a new sneaker, or Jordans, they come out and they say, all right, we're only going to make 100 of these sneakers. People go purchase them, and then they usually get like a certificate saying, all right, this is number one, this is number two, all the way through 100. And then they can then resell those later on at a specific price. Um, Whatever, depending on what the demand is for that specific sneaker, right? And like I have a
mhm,
lot of friends that are sneakerheads, and they've bought shoes for 200 that they've ended up selling for 500, $600. But
yeah,
again, that's a physical thing. With NFTs, essentially what you're seeing is the same thing, where you're getting this digital piece of either art, or it can be like a 3D model, or it just it's something that's digital, but it is unique and it cannot be copied. So because of that, and because it's backed by blockchain, you have to have some type of cryptocurrency to purchase it. It has actual value to it now. So with an NFT, now you have this item of actual value that's digital that you can sell later on if it goes if there's a demand for it all of a sudden. So, I mean, as of now, I feel like there's demand for all NFTs. People don't know what they're
yeah.
buying. They're just going out there and like one of my friends just showed me like one of his NFTs that he bought. It's like a gorilla prostitute. image, and I was like, what the heck is this? It looks so dumb. And I'm
I
like, but he bought it. He's like, hey, I think this is gonna be worth something later on. Or
yeah, that
there's even like almost like loot boxes that you can purchase for NFTs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have purchased NBA Top Shot. I don't know if you've
Yep,
heard of NBA Top
yep.
Shot.
Top Shot.
I do. I used to do NBA Top Shot a little bit, and I do have some pretty rare ones. And yeah, I knew that I got into it thinking, I'm gonna make some money. And yeah, you can make some money if you get the good release or you get the low serial number stuff like that. But I feel like in NBA Top Shot, it's already a trading community. People are trying to trade these. It's already like
It's
a
like trading cards almost.
bartering system.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's almost like trading cards. Yeah, they're trading. They're essentially trading cards that are just one. They're all
yeah,
unique, and the lower the serial number, the better, et cetera, et cetera. But everyone's trying to make money. Everyone is into financial assets
yeah,
at the moment. Everybody wants. No one wants cash. Everyone wants assets.
yeah.
Get your money in crypto. Get your money in this. But at some point, people are flooding it too much, too much, too much. People think they're going to be making money off every NFT, and that's not the way it
It's
works. It
not.
doesn't work that way. You need to buy smart. You need to buy, you know, if you really want to get into it to trade. Okay, if you're going to get into it and hold it forever,
Yeah,
fine. That's fine. Do that. At some point, maybe you could sell it for a lot. But
yeah.
if you're getting into it thinking that you're going to make money right off the bat, or that everything you buy is going to be worth
Yeah.
something, that's just not a good mentality because
I don't know.
I personally have been in the crypto world for a while. I don't buy as much at the moment because I'm saving money, but
Yeah.
um, you know, crypto NFTs, there's money there, but there's also a lot of hopes and dreams lost
There's a lot
because
of
someone
risk.
spends $2,000, $3,000 on NFTs that just all of a sudden
Yeah.
go to $1 each, and you're down
Yeah.
$3,000. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's just it. Be smart and promote it.
I think that
Promote something that's actually worth someone's time. If you're
yeah.
promoting it as a, hey, this is my merch, I'm selling merch NFTs, they're not going to be worth something, but you're buying it because you want to buy it, not because you're trying to make money. If they're
Exactly. Yes.
marketing it in that way, then that's different. But
Yeah.
if you're doing it in a way just to make a quick buck and just get out of it, then that's pretty.
Yeah. I think bringing it back to gaming for a minute, uh you see a lot of streamers that are now coming out with their own NFTs and influencers and promoters, and
Yeah,
they have these NFTs for their fan bases. And I think it's okay if you want to purchase some of those because you're a fan, right? Because
yeah,
you're a fan of
like
them,
merch.
and it's exactly, yeah, like merch. It's like Ninja's shoes that came out. If I go and purchase those Adidas and I keep them in the box in mint condition, they might be worth something later on, and I can sell it.
Yeah,
Or I mean, this is kind of going into the whole metaverse type thing. Like if I buy an NFT for this specific influencer or streamer, later on I can find a way to display it like on my own profiles, and that's kind of the direction that we're going. And that's why NFTs a lot of times also is compared to artwork. So if you have
yeah,
this piece of art that you would hang in your house, you'd purchase it, but at the same time, it's a piece of art that you might be able to sell for more money later. And it'll appreciate and depreciate in value over time.
yeah,
But right now, what people are doing is they're buying everything. They're not just buying a piece of art, they're
yeah.
buying like something a kid drew in a coloring book. Like that's essentially what they're buying instead.
Yeah, they're saying here this thing's gonna be worth $1,000 one day. Just
Yeah.
watch. Look at my. It's like almost like a parent showing. Look at my kid's painting.
Exactly.
It's gonna be worth a lot of money one
Yeah.
day. He's Picasso. It's
Yeah,
like,
or I know I've had some. I had a friend like wrote a book. He's one of our neighbors here. He's like, here, I'll give you a signed copy because one day I'm gonna be famous. It's like, okay, well,
yeah, I mean, and one day they
yeah,
could, right? They could very well, but I mean, you can't be telling people like, oh, this, buy this because it's gonna be worth
yeah,
like,
because you
that's just,
don't know if it's gonna go up in value,
yeah, you
and
don't.
I think it's okay if you have the extra money to just spend on NFTs, go for it. I think if you want to purchase NFTs from again from streamers and stuff, be it someone that you're supporting or be it something that you actually really like if it's a digital marker, like one of my coworkers, he bought this NFT that he really liked, and it's like a dude in like a suit, and it's like cartoony, and he's like, I'm just gonna buy it, and it's gonna be my like profile picture because I like it
Yeah,
that much, and it's something that I own that no one else can
yeah,
duplicate. So I'm just gonna use it for for fun, or even for my own like branding, right? Like if you want to purchase a NFT that looks like a logo, and you want to start using that logo for all your stuff, and go for it. I mean, that's because it belongs to you at that point, right?
Yeah.
That digital
Yeah,
piece
yeah.
of art
You
is
can do
yours.
whatever with you want with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for gaming, I think for streamers even, there are going to be some scams out there. There definitely are going to be scams out there that people are going to make like 1,000 NFTs of one specific release and sell them all for like $500 each, and they're going to
Mhm.
be worth nothing in the long run. But there's going to
Yeah.
be some out there that are going to do well too. And
Yeah.
there's no right now it's the wild wild west out there with NFTs, because everyone's
Yeah.
purchasing and selling and trading, and yeah, it's all over the place.
Unless you're buying for your own merch, like if you're buying people because of
Yeah,
their merch, don't buy NFTs. If you're gonna go buy something that we want that is gonna have value, et cetera, go into like an actual, like I said, like NBA Top Shot. If
yeah,
there's some kind of thing like that for gaming, I'd understand. It's a controlled market. Buyers and sellers all over the place.
yeah,
It's actually meant for buying and selling. It's meant for mystery boxes. Like I had my friend pull like a LeBron James, and the thing was worth like $400, $500 off of a $10 pack. So that stuff happens. Yeah, but it's not always gonna happen. So you have to like make sure you let these people know that it's gambling essentially, right?
yeah,
It's essentially gambling. It's a stock. It is some kind of there's a lot of ways that people can scam. So promote it in the right way, and
yeah,
don't lead people off wrong. So
yeah. I think when it comes to gaming too, for so long in the gaming community, we've had access to similar items in
yeah.
game. Not exactly NFTs, but like you'll get like a super rare skin for like Overwatch, or
Yeah, like
for
the Skull Trooper,
yeah,
the Skull Trooper from a while.
yeah,
That was like a
exactly. So like
NFT.
yeah, I remember I played Fortnite season 1, and I got some really cool skins, and people offered me money for my account
Yeah,
because they wanted that
and they
specific
still
skin,
do
and
that.
then you could sell a lot of that stuff. You could sell your accounts online, and I even with like Call of Duty, I know it was really big with Counter Strike. There were certain items
Yeah,
that you would get from loot boxes in Counter Strike that you could actually sell for real world money.
yeah,
And
yeah. There's like in there $1 million one.
yeah,
Yeah, there's like some pretty high. Yeah, those are NFTs essentially.
yeah,
That's literally what an
yeah.
NFT
I
is.
think the only difference between those and NFTs is that the NFTs are backed by blockchain. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
only a
obviously.
given amount of those items that can be created, whereas in game is just more of a percentage of rarity that you might get it in game. But there's no
Yeah, so as
like
long as people
there's no
spend.
limit to how many of those items will ever be created. And
Yeah,
but I could easily see video games go in that direction at the same time. Like maybe even in like I don't know. I like to talk about FIFA loot boxes. Maybe you can get some really cool like
maybe Overwatch.
yeah, maybe you can get some really cool
Overwatch
like
2.
flags, or yeah, in Overwatch too. Maybe you can get like a skin that there's only 1,000 of these skins that are ever going to be available. Imagine how many loot boxes people are going to buy just to get one of those
And if they made,
1,000 skins.
and they should add a trading system. And oh man,
Yeah,
that's a godsend. If games do that,
yeah,
like that just creates some kind of like I don't know. That just that meshes. I think that would fit for gamers, right?
yeah,
That's a good idea. You should
yeah.
we should sell that to the
Yeah,
companies.
man. You start creating NFTs in game, you're gonna get a lot of people around that.
Yeah,
Cause then you can purchase.
people love loot boxes, man.
Yeah,
Like it's people are never gonna stop buying loot
yeah.
boxes in games that they enjoy.
Imagine the
So
NFT aspect on top of in-game loot boxes already. That would just go crazy. Like if
hmm
you have an in-game economy, let's say Counter Strike for example, you have an in-game
yeah,
economy where there's only like 5 of one certain type of blade that can come out of a loot box, and you have one of those 5, and they actually
yeah,
allow you to buy and sell those online. Then yeah, you're creating an in-game economy that can skyrocket. It just needs to be
hmm
controlled, because that's
yeah. Obviously, there has to be
yeah.
some kind of obviously that can get really unethical really
Oh yeah,
fast.
yeah.
Uh,
Financing will come
so
in, and yeah, you're. I mean, it's gonna be stuff that you're gonna have to claim on your taxes at some point. Uh,
yeah, that's fine. Maybe
yeah,
maybe there's I think what gaming needs to do is like it feels like almost too linear, right? Everybody wants, what if there's games just for adults that can just play this, like there's a niche for that. Even if it's just a niche, not everything has to be giant. So maybe there's a niche of a big game, say if it's Overwatch 2 or something, whatever game has an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, we're strictly promoting this to adults because that's probably our main, focus. That's who's buying our game. So we're going to strictly do this. That you can sell NFTs in the game. They can do this and that. And it's a buy-in, or, you have to check in before you play the game. I'm okay with blah, 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 blah. And then there's a way they could do it, but
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody would.
I
I'd
think they
love to
would.
see that.
I think
Yeah,
eventually they have to. I mean, you're talking about Facebook and the metaverse and all this, and how
yeah,
they're like, if you start getting games that, and we already have some games that allow you
yeah,
to do microtransactions in games for real world money. Um,
yeah,
you already have some of those games, and you start incorporating it into, like, I don't know, like a metaverse, like a Sims metaverse, where
oh
hey, now
yeah.
I have a
And you start
house
done.
where I can show off all my NFTs, and people can
Yeah, you
come.
can open your own little
Yeah,
shop. Yeah. There's like different ways.
there's a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah, like there's
And
someone has to
yeah,
do
I
it.
think with the metaverse also you get a lot of I know the what's his name, I don't know, the guy in charge of the Game Awards. He was talking how he wants eventually the Game Awards to not just be uh like you stream it online and you're watching your home. He wants it to be like in-game events, kind of like we had with Fortnite, where Fortnite had that event with like Anderson Paak and he was like performing and you can watch it in game. Like
Yeah.
he wants to have that to be available like across a bunch of different games, where you can just jump in the game and like Forza Horizon 5, right? Like you can just
Mhm.
jump in your car and like you go to like a movie theater in game and you can watch the Game Awards being shown. And I think it's
Yeah. Yeah,
interesting.
but I know you mentioned.
I was
Sorry, go
gonna
ahead.
say, I think it's interesting that he's like focused on that part of the metaverse and
Yeah.
sharing content, versus
Yeah.
they asked him, it's like, what about NFTs? Are you guys giving out free NFTs if people watch? And he's like, we're not gonna touch that. We're not getting into that right now. So we're not gonna do
I I
NFTs.
I think I think he knows what metaverse is going to be big for
Oh
gaming.
yeah,
Like I don't think people understand how big this is for in general the next generation of electronics, just or I mean just the our
technology.
next
Yeah,
generation is technology. Yeah, technology in general. It's just everything's going to be. We already knew VR was coming, right? VR
yeah.
was coming a long time ago, and it's going to get there. It's just going to take some time, and the metaverse is going to really push gaming, I think, to the next level. And hopefully, like we said, maybe they have some kind of NFT trading system inside the gaming verse. I guess we could
The
call it
gaming verse. Yeah.
that.
Um, I did want to talk about. I mentioned it earlier. Like, there's some games out there where you can already like make money, and well, one of them is Axie Infinity, and I talk about this one because it's kind of the most popular blockchain NFT game right now. But it's really changing how people are able to like microtransact within games. You can
Mhm.
really grind at this game and make money, and then all you need is like a crypto wallet, like what's a crypto wallet you use?
I mean, there's
Coinbase.
Coinbase,
Yeah,
there's BitTrue,
yeah,
there's like, yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. There's
yeah,
they just opened
yeah.
yeah, but I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
the
Yeah,
whole idea is you get an in-game currency and you can trade it for with your crypto wallet for actual like Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever it may be, and then you can change that into actual money. And
yeah,
people are starting to play these games, and
yeah,
so now not only are you playing games that you enjoy, now you can actually make
yeah.
money while you're playing these games. And don't get me wrong, it's not a lot of money, right? Like I was watching the
Takes
yeah, I was
time.
watching this YouTuber, was it a YouTuber or streamer? It was on YouTube. This guy, he played for like 21 days and he made like $600 in 21 days. But that was grinding, right?
Yeah, it's almost like a
Yeah,
job, right? It's like you're choosing your job.
yeah,
You're choosing to be a crypto miner or a miner.
yeah.
You're choosing to be, this like people can actually make money
Yeah.
off of this, which is actually,
The thing with it is that to get in to get that high up, like he's ranked nationally at a high level, so he actually has a conversion rate in game that's higher than most players. So he's gonna be able to make more money in game because of the economy system in the game. Not only
Yeah.
that, there's actually like a high cap buy-in for this game, right? Like the whole idea of the game is you have like these like three monsters that you have to play with to play through the game, and then you make the money. But in order to purchase these three characters, I think they come out to like $70 each at the low end. So that means you'd end up buying or yeah, in order to actually like start making money in the game and start playing the game, there's like a $210
Yeah.
purchasing. Uh, so there's that whole aspect to it. You have to buy in to eventually make money, and who knows if you can't play
Which
full time every day,
yeah.
you
I mean,
the
which is, but that's what's good is right. It's
yeah
like you're almost like it's almost like choosing. I want to do this. I'm putting this much money into it.
yeah
I know what I'm getting myself into essentially, right? So that's where I guess gaming can grab from those all those little things like that, and then the metaverse and little things
yeah
from the other things, and just make something great. I think um, it doesn't have to specifically be a job, but
yeah
yeah, maybe if someone wants to sell in-game NFTs on the virtual shop, et cetera, they could do like a pawn shop where people sell their stuff and they're trying to get
yeah.
money. There's just like so much creativity
I know,
slash
yeah.
opportunities in
I mean,
just
there's already
everywhere.
people who there's this group out of the Philippines. I forgot their name for this game for Axie Infinity.
Yeah.
They actually will loan out their little like characters in game. So instead of you
Mm.
purchasing them for like $210 total, uh, you can actually get them from this group, and they just get a certain percentage of the money you make in game. So
Yeah.
it is legit, just like those companies that will loan out cars so you can drive on Uber, and
Yeah.
they just take a certain percentage of the money you make. Like legit, they're creating their
Was
whole digital economy around
yeah.
NFTs and blockchain, and translating all that over, and then you have like Axie Infinity has their own currency, and then if the value of that currency goes up, they can then trade that for Ethereum or Bitcoin at a higher value. So who knows? Maybe if you sit on that currency for a while and it becomes of greater value, because a lot of people are still just figuring out what these games are and how they work, and like you said, like you have to have like a Binance wallet or a Coinbase wallet,
Yeah.
and once they have all that set up, eventually people are gonna start playing these games. I think if personally I've seen Axie Infinity played, I'm not gonna play that game because I don't find it fun.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
end up grinding for because I don't want to.
Yeah.
But if there's a game that I actually enjoy playing, and on top of that, it's gonna allow me to get in-game NFTs or even in-game currency that I can then translate
Yeah.
over to actual cryptocurrency, and then I'm gonna do it, man, because it makes perfect sense. Like even if I have to pay like a monthly fee to play the game,
Yeah.
as long as I'm getting a return on it, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth playing some of these games, and there's quite a few out there. Literally, you just Google blockchain game or NFT game, and Axie Infinity is at the top right now. But you'll get other games in there that you can play. So
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense to me. If it's a game that you would play anyway, well, let's go ahead and make some money while doing it. Even if it's not a lot of money, it's still you're having fun and you're getting paid a little bit. Why not?
Yeah. At some point, I hope gamers end up like I don't know if you've seen Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. That's like a gamer's
Right.
dream, like being able to do that. And they were like selling in-game stuff like
Yeah.
that too, right? They were selling. So
I know
maybe one day that'll be real
I know a
life.
lot of people are like scared of that though. Like,
No, I mean, it doesn't have to be the whole world, but it can be just gaming, right? Like it could just be just a gaming world can be
yeah,
that. Not the whole world has to be that way, Like there's still people that are not going to be into that, that are not going to believe that. So
yeah.
it's like
I know. I just
has to be done the right way, which is why I think people think, even back in the day, people thought, oh, we're going to be flying
yeah,
cars in 20 years. Like that thing takes it's probably not even 100 200 years.
I know. I just
Like, you
see.
know, things move slow. It has to be done right. It has to be done. There's a lot of stuff that's gonna
That's
stop
true.
that. So
That's true.
it's just
I think we're heading more towards an augmented reality versus a
yeah,
virtual reality, and like uh how it relates to gaming would be like Pokemon Go, where it's
yeah,
like you see the Pokemon in the real world and then you play those types of games. I think the metaverse will do best if it's pursues an augmented reality type of thing versus a virtual reality. I think more people that are
hmm
opposed to complete virtual reality are more likely to look at that stuff and find it useful.
yeah,
Um,
and that's fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be virtual, but I
yeah,
mean, there's a way to get there while still doing it
yeah,
right. Like you're saying, it's like it doesn't have to be just that one vision. It could be
yeah,
made right. Yeah,
yeah.
I
There's
agree.
a right way to do it, and the same way with NFTs and gaming. There's a right way to do it, and just be mindful out there because they're like you said, some NFTs are just gonna be scams, but others, like if you actually like the NFT that you're purchasing or that you're grinding for, like in some of these games, then go for it because it is something new. It's brand new. People don't know what they're doing with it. I know people have like digital wallets with all kinds of NFTs and they don't know what to do with them right now. But I mean, just sit on them for a while because we're gonna get there. I think as far as metaverse is concerned, we're going to get there where you'll be able to show them publicly.
Yeah,
And even then, like I said before, my buddy who got an NFT he really liked set it as his profile picture. You can start building brands around some of these things that you're buying.
yeah,
Um, I mean, if like you said with the NBA one, you can start creating like online contents for it too. Cause I mean, you see so many
yeah,
people online, like on YouTube, have like YouTube channels dedicated to trading cards, and be like, "Hey, look, this is
yeah,
one I got. This is what's cool about it. This is who the person is." You can do the same thing with those NFTs and be like, "Hey, like this is mine that I purchased." Again, I know people are afraid to share their NFTs still, cause like, oh, what if someone takes a snip of it and they can take it? It's like, no, there's no. That's what the blockchain is. It protects that from
yeah,
happening. People can't just steal your NFT. And I think a lot of people still are confused by that. They don't understand how a digital item cannot be copied
yeah,
and taken. Again, if you're buying an NFT from a not so credible source, nothing's stopping them from creating more of them. And even though technically that's against the rules, borderline illegal. Uh,
yeah. It
but
is.
but if you have something that's backed by Bitcoin, Ethereum, don't buy anything backed by Dogecoin because that's not regulated. uh,
Yeah,
so I know people keep talking about Dogecoin and Shiba, and I was like, yeah, go for it if you want to buy it just for fun, just like put fun money into that. It's more like gambling again.
yeah,
But if you have stuff backed by blockchain, it's yours. It belongs to you, and
yeah,
there's nothing that can really steal it or all that. I mean, you could, I guess you could lose access to your account and stuff if you aren't careful. But even then, I think there's ways of recuperating it. So yeah,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
keep an eye out.
we turn into a finance podcast, but that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
right.
We're gonna have to do a Quickscope finance
Uh,
episode.
well, we'll explain all that. We'll explain how it all works. I know online, on TikTok, there was someone that talked about NFTs, and I posted in the comments just real quick. It was like an NFT is more like artwork. Like it can't be copied because it's backed by the blockchain, and all these comments under me, just people asking, "How do you know this? How does it work?" And it's like, man, like you guys can do this research yourself, but at the same time don't start buying NFTs if you don't know what it is. Same as cryptocurrency. Like sure, buy you can buy some cryptocurrency, sit on it for a while, but don't be buying and trading and doing all this stuff. You're gonna hurt yourself and you're gonna
Yeah,
stress yourself out. Uh
yeah. You got to be very careful with these
yeah.
things. That's why I have friends that buy everything. Right? They buy everything, and I always tell them like, hey, yeah, I love buying crypto. You know, I'm not like this crazy crypto, like 24/7 on crypto. You know, I'll buy
Yeah.
my stuff. I see what I like. I'll sit on it for a little bit, sell it when I want to.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be very careful with these things. Like, don't just be going out and buying everything because I don't think people understand the way the market works. Someone's losing when someone wins.
Yep.
So
Yep.
um, it's a sad world on the other
Yeah.
side.
So
So
I guess
don't.
yeah, it is. I guess my number one advice is almost going back to like old school stocks thinking, where don't buy a
Yeah,
stock for a company that you don't support.
yeah, exactly.
So if you would buy a stock, like I own stock in Microsoft, I own stock in Accenture, Amazon, all these
Mhm.
companies I really believe in and I use. So I'm going to have stock in them because when they win, I win.
Mhm.
Um,
Exactly.
and I guess going back to NFTs, I mean, buy something you really like, right? If it's an image that you think is really cool and it's like the equivalent of $20, why not? Buy it and hold on to it for a while. It's yours, belongs to you. Like I have
Mhm.
artwork at home that I really like and all that. So I that would be my advice and goes with NFTs. I'm not saying don't buy NFTs because
Yeah.
they're NFTs are going to go up.
It's a
Yeah,
future. Yeah, it's a future. It just has to be done right,
yeah,
and don't fall for everything. There's scams and everything. I mean,
yeah,
people are getting scammed daily.
yeah. People are
Just because it's
losing.
not you doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen. I was in a Discord server, like 1,000 people. They were doing NFT drop, and it got super toxic, and everyone got a notification saying that they got like a super rare one, and everyone
Yeah,
got mad because it wasn't true. And yeah, so it was all over the place. So yeah, definitely just keep an eye out. And again, if it's a content creator, promoter, someone that you actually believe in and you like what they're doing, then yeah, you can support people by buying their NFTs. But at the same time, it's like just be mindful of what you're doing out there, especially as gaming gets closer and closer to using NFTs in game, and you have these specific blockchain backed games. You can spend time in those and make a little money, and it's fun. And you can do that too. So there's options out there too. If
yeah.
someone tells you there's
I
only
mean,
one way to buy NFTs and you have to buy this specific NFTs, uh, they're not being completely honest with you. There's different ways to go about it.
on a good note, man, this is we all probably didn't envision gaming being here, right? Like
Yeah.
the pandemic. People understand like gaming, the growth of gaming in the last 5 years surpassed the last 30
Yep.
years by far. Like it's been rapid, and I think in general gaming's going a good way. So um, it's yeah, gaming's gaming's here, and it's not going to go anywhere. So
Agree. Agree.
yeah,
So yeah, I think we can end on that note. We can end with recommendations. I'll start with mine first. Uh my recommendation for the week, it's a little weird actually. It's not a game. I recommend watching Arcane on Netflix. Um like I mentioned before, it is a League of Legends show, but you don't have to have played League of Legends to understand the show.
yeah,
So far episode 1 I didn't need any of my background in the game to be able to understand it, and it's really fun. It's actually really well made. So hopefully you'll watch that, and maybe you'll jump on a game of League with me or TFT.
yeah.
So yeah, definitely that's my recommendation for the week. Go and check out the first few episodes of Netflix's Arcane.
Yeah, and I guess I mean I'll go Forza just because I'm gonna
Oh
go
yeah,
download it right now. So play it that way. You guys can let us know how you enjoyed it last week or next week,
yeah,
because I'm gonna be playing, and then I'll let you guys know how it went.
for sure. All right, and once again, we're Quickscope Podcast. Make sure to follow us everywhere on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitch. We're on Twitter. We have a new TikTok now, so that's Quickscope Podcast on TikTok and on Instagram. So yeah, follow us on all those platforms and make sure to follow Higher Passion. They post content from all the different podcasts. We have the Rap Beats and Melodies podcast. We have the Sports Dogs, and they're doing great right now, especially with the end of baseball and now heading into the basketball and football seasons where they're really ramping up right now. So yeah, check out all of our other podcasts and thank you for joining us. Had a pretty good number on the live today, so yeah, thank you.
Nice.
GG's. See you later.
GG's everybody.